Oh, okay. Is it going to switch back and forth between the two of us?
Yeah, that revolves me clicking.
Oh.
All right.
Hmm.
Let me get the YouTube link real quick. My channel live now.
Two of us?
Yeah, that revolves me clicking.
Oh.
All right. Let me get the YouTube link real quick. The two of us.
Oh, man, that was sexy.
Alrighty. Move this over here. Um, do that. All right. One post created. Battleborn Brigade. Two posts created. Do
Oh,
you have the
man,
stream
that
open
was
on your
sexy.
computer?
I do.
Okay. Tell me if it's working for you.
It is.
The volume two.
Yep. I can hear everything.
Yay! I figured out how easy stuff works.
Hooray.
Alrighty. Whenever you're ready, I'll click record to start on my end, so I just have video.
Oh, you're going to record too?
In case I have done something wrong, this is my backup.
Okay. And
Uh,
hey, since you took care of the technical side, I'll try to do a little more on the hosting a little bit, take a little bit of the ease off of it for you.
hell yeah.
It's a give and take, man. We got to work together. All right, man. And I am ready whenever you are.
Okay. Five, four, three.
All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome to 1868 Weekly. My name is Matthew Rafferty, filling in for John. Couldn't be here. Filling in alongside with me, Brad Polonsky. What is up, dude?
How y'all doing? It's gonna be a good day today. I got a good feeling about it. We won this weekend.
Yes, we did. It was nice to win early in the weekend too, and kind of enjoy it for a few days before getting back to work. That's real nice.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Going back to work this week didn't feel the same with, you know. Today was a tough day for me. Let me just put it like that. I'm just happy that I'm at home recording this podcast and good feelings.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always fun doing this, and even if the day is stressful, it's nice to sit back and talk with you and usually John, but talk about some soccer, talk about Reno, but let's do it, man. It's just you and me. So, on top of talking about our win against New Mexico United, we are also going to be talking about our upcoming match on Saturday versus Real Monarchs. That's going to be at 6 on Saturday. And then we're going to talk a little bit about playoffs because that is pertinent to us now. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And just general soccer shenanigans from around the league, random thoughts, and that's kind of the slate for the show today. So first, let's talk about this win on Friday. New Mexico United hosting Reno 1868 for the first time. New Mexico not looking their self like they did at the beginning of the season, but still a dangerous side, still an intimidating atmosphere to go and play in. And our boys came ahead 3-1. It was a bit of a nail biter at first, a little stressful, especially the first 15, 20 minutes. But Reno really showed what was up and kind of made a statement win. But let's go into a little more details. Brad, what do you got to say about this?
Oh boy, I tweeted out in this game that this was 100% Corey Herzog's night of just taunting and being the most hated man in Albuquerque that night. What do I have to say about this night? I thought that the first goal that New Mexico scored was quality. I thought that they were playing like they wanted to make playoffs. But then they collapsed early on in the second half. Allowing a goal Corey Herzog's first goal. I'm so thrown off. Football says Corey James Herzog, like his full flippin' name. So I just want to read that. But Corey Herzog scores right before the end of the half on a nice little pass up to the top of the key by I believe it was Lindo. Or am I mistaken? It was Lindo or Brent?
I believe it was a whip in from Brent, and it deflected off of
Hmm.
Lindo or a defender, and then just kind of fell in front of
Yeah.
Corey.
And Corey just puts that one away. Second goal of the night. A little bit of controversy because if you watch the replay, who do you think it goes in off of?
Man, I watched that one a few times, and I'm really not sure. It may have grazed Corey's leg a little bit, like ever so slightly, but I don't know. I feel like all the effort came from Brent, so you got to give it to him.
Hmm.
It would be nice for Corey to get that hat trick, but I think you got to give Brent the credit on that one.
So yes, the league decided to agree with you on this one. They think that whoever touches the ball last is not as important, and so they gave Brent the goal. They gave Brent the goal, coming in the 54th minute. Nice little whip in from the corner kick, and Brent just like puts it right in. It's pretty nice header. But if the fireworks weren't done yet, if Corey was, stiffed by that one goal before we even had the chance to react and say, oh, maybe it was Brent who scored that goal, because we all thought Corey did. As soon as that went in, a minute later, Corey scoring again. Just slips in right behind the back line. Um, Not offsides, but slips right in and gets the easiest finish. And finally, more than one touch.
Yeah, I was really shocked. He actually had to put in what one more? I think it was a
I
two
think it was a
toucher.
two-toucher. Yep.
Man, yeah, he really wasn't in a position to just turn and shoot. But he got the goal. He got that like last nail in the coffin on that one, the security goal. And I don't really care how it happened. It happened. Another bit of an anomaly is that Brett ended up scoring in the air on a set piece, which doesn't happen too much. So it's really good to see that, and especially from one of our fullbacks. The attack is still alive, it's still well, and it's varied. So I we're picking up steam going into the playoffs here, and I really like what I'm seeing. This was a big win.
Oh yeah, quality win in front of a quality audience, you know. Say what you will about New Mexico's up and down first season, there's been one constant there, and that's that they've had at least, 8,000, 9,000 people in the stands for every one of their games. This one was a little bit over 10,000.
Yeah, I mean it was a Friday, and they really did, like I was saying, they kind of lost a little bit of steam, and you're going to lose some of the casuals that way. But I think you're right. I think their low may have been about like 8,000.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. They're
Hmm.
looking really good, and I feel like Garber's peeking his ears up a little bit, trying to see what's going on down in Albuquerque. Um, but you never know because they keep stiffing Sacramento and Phoenix, even though either one of them could be in there right now.
Do you think that that would be something that might happen in the future?
One of them. I think the odds are that at least one of them have to make it into the league. I know there's been a lot of rumors going around. CBS Sports dropped an announcement that Sacramento made it into the league, and MLS was like, no. And so there was a lot of confusion, misinformation going around. No, I don't know. It's bound to happen eventually.
Hmm. All right. Well, let's continue on with this game. What are your thoughts? What you
Yeah,
thinking?
I thought Reno put in 70% of a complete game. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't think that they were slacking. I'm saying like they had the good chunks of time where it was looking a little slacking, or maybe just New Mexico was looking that good. Like I was saying, the first 15 or 20 minutes or so, and then a couple other scary moments here and there for New Mexico. But other than that, Reno put in a quality effort the entire time, and that includes the San Jose players. Maybe not Cavillo, but I feel like Haji came in and actually put in a good shift. I know there's some mixed opinions, but I like him. Um, and I don't know. I felt overall that it was actually just a great team game,
Hmm.
front to back.
Yeah, I agree with you. I guess the only thing I have to add on to you in this scenario is the Kevin Partita red card. Kind of a stupid,
Mm.
he gets the first yellow card in I want to say it's like the 74th minute of the game. And 5 minutes later, he's getting a red. And the yellow card was something he shouldn't have gotten. He was arguing with the referee, you know, just complaining a little bit. And I guess he said something nasty to the ref and gets shown an immediate yellow. And then 5 minutes later, he does a. Do you think it was necessary? I don't think it was necessary. A nasty slide tackle gets the ball from behind, but you also get the player from behind. That's gonna get called 9 times out of 10 by the ref, no matter if you got the ball first or not.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people scream, "Oh, he got the ball," but the fact of the matter is, it was deemed a dangerous play. I don't think it would be called a yellow by everybody or in every situation, but that just the luck of the draw that happened to happen that time. And you look back at it, and he slides in from behind, and his sliding leg gets underneath the attacking player's leg, and it could have resulted in some kind of damaging injury or something, like a little more contact. So I can understand why he gave him the yellow. It sucks to see that, but like you were asking at the beginning of this, was it necessary? No, it was not necessary whatsoever. I feel like the back line was pretty solid. They had one more back to head. It was like there was five lined up, three in the middle. They had the two runners covered. I feel like no matter what New Mexico was going to throw at them, they had a response to it. And I don't know, when you're up by 2 goals with that little amount of time left, and you have that defensive line to help, why are you throwing an emergency defense in the middle of the field? I don't get it. It was unnecessary.
Yeah, well, it's a red card. I feel kind of bad. Um, Kevin's parents were at the bar with us watching the game, and all of a sudden people are just, shouting obscenities about their child. But, you know, criticism is
You,
only good for the game. So unfortunate, but it happens.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment, people are going to yell things, and that's unfortunate. Jeez, uh, but I feel like if that's going to be the one blight on this match, then I'll take it, especially because it was 3 points on the road, and we're staying up in the top three, even though there's some other shifting going around. I feel like we can talk about that a little bit later when we talk about other USL happenings outside of Reno. But do you have anything else to say about this match?
I mean, lovely game. I enjoyed it. At the watch party, I didn't win anything, but my lovely girlfriend won this nice little pennant behind me. Hold on, let me make my screen full screen. This nice little pennant behind me, and was nice enough to give it to the wall. So the wall got a new addition this week.
Hey,
I know, isn't it nice? Deej told me I had to put it up for this episode, so Deej, here's your little shout out. It's up on the wall for all you people on YouTube that can see my lovely wall.
and
Other
for
than
those,
that,
yeah, for those of you who can't see it, it's a lovely little pennant.
yeah. Anything else I got about this match? Not really. It was a quality win on the road. The team looked good. They played well. Defense closed up. A little too well, I guess, for Partita's case. Um, but it it was just a good showing on the road. Quality win in a hard to win at place. They do a lot of drawing there and some wins. Uh, got nothing else to say about this game. I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. It's 3 points and onwards and upwards. All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk about how we can continue moving onward and upward with our upcoming match on Saturday against Real Monarchs SLC. They are coming off a 3-1 loss at Rio Grande Valley, which is not a good look. It kind of makes me think that they're pulling their their uh, their overhead cost for traveling, and they're not traveling with a lot of guys and they're suffering. So that makes me kind of hopeful of facing them on the road because they are one of those question mark teams. They can lose to teams like RGV, or a few weeks back they lost to Los Dos, or they can beat big teams. They have a few times this year. So it's a big question mark about who's coming to Greater Nevada Field. But I think no matter what, our boys can handle it, especially if they play like they did most of the game against New Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the first matchup of the year. Not the Reno's best day. It was a 3-1 loss down in Salt Lake. Were you there? Did you make the drive?
I did not make the drive. That was one I had to back out of.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I made the drive
Mhm.
over to Salt Lake. Uh, game went. It was a tough game. It's Corey Herzog's first missed penalty on the year in the second minute. I remember getting that penalty kick, and he just kicked it. I think it was over. I think it was straight into the goalie. It was a very weak penalty taken. Um, but the saving goal scorer of that game, Aiden Apodaca in the 81st minute to at least put us on the board. But that goal came way too late. Reno was down 3-1 at the time. So 3-1 final at Zion Bank Stadium. Man, like you said though, I have a lot of hope that Salt Lake doesn't travel well on the road. I know they just got pretty much beat down by the Toros in Toroville. 3-1. I watched that game on Saturday.
Poor Oval.
I know. Rio Grande Valley. But no, I watched that game. Same thing as us. They scored late in the game around the 80th minute. Lost 3-1 and allowed 3 goals, 2 of them early on in the second half. So this is a team coming off a tough loss, a game that we should win. Uh, I don't know who they're going to be bringing, so I can't really highlight anybody. That's always so much fun.
Well, I actually got one if we're talking about highlight players here. There's one guy who looks like he's the only consistent field player. He's played 29 matches this season, so I believe that's all of them, unless they've played 30. I'm not sure, but he is the top in chances created, in shots. He's got a few assists. He's got a few goals. Michael Chang, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Maikel. Michael.
Hmm.
So that's a guy to look out for. Jack Blake, that's a name that always pops up whenever we face them. Douglas Martinez, he's a guy who's been in and out. But really, aside from Chang, who knows who's coming? And it's kind of a rotating door as far as keepers as well. Are we going to see Ochoa? Are we going to see Putna? I believe it was Ochoa last time we faced him, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I mean he's a good keeper, but it's one of those inconsistent things, kind of like what we have going on with Maddie and JT. But I feel like they kind of have it figured out. Let's see if they're able to do that on the road with their two keepers. I mean, what else can we say? It's a two team. It's another question mark. It's another unknown. And as long as Reno plays the Reno game, they play Ian ball. It should work out.
Yeah, this is a team sitting in sixth place in the standings.
Hmm.
Current form, coming off a loss, but prior to that, 2 wins. One of them was against Tacoma, though, so I guess you could put a little asterisk there.
But that big
For
win against Portland is actually kind of impressive.
Oh, was that the 5-0 game or something like that?
5-1, yeah.
Yeah,
That, especially the way Portland had been playing about the last month or so. Yeah, that's a big notch. That's actually something to be proud of. So I don't want to see that team.
I don't, I don't think we're gonna see that team, but you never want to see that team. For me, honestly, uh, Michael Chang, yeah, you were right. He's played 29 games out of 29. He's probably the player to watch out for. He scored against us back in April. Yeah, April.
Yep.
So, coming into September, as long as Reno doesn't have any weird tinkerings again, if they send up Calvillo again, we're gonna have to deal with it somehow. But of all people to send up, he's probably the one that hurts the most to receive as a Reno fan because I know that he's not gonna do anything. He's gonna come out and run the paces, is what everybody says. And I don't even know why they say run the paces because it's more like walk slowly into position and like give 10 feet of space to every offensive player he's looking at, and on transitions kind of be lost in. He's nowhere. He's a red card automatically. I don't care if he's on the field or not because he's not doing anything.
Hot damn. That was a bit of a rant there, man.
I take it
Uh,
as it is.
yeah.
If he came up and like put out a good showing for 80 minutes, like tried, didn't look bad, I take it. But you have players like Haji who came in this last game from the bench looking hungry and making an effort and absolutely
Did he
being.
start?
No, Haji did not. Haji came in late.
No, no, no. He started.
Did he? No.
He subbed out
Oh,
in the
he subbed out.
66th.
Oh my. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I actually I wanted to give praise for him because I actually thought he did really well. He was really quick. He was moving up and down the line a lot. He was providing a lot of outlets for whenever anybody received the ball in the middle of the field. He was right there ready for a pass out to the out to like start moving it up on the attack. He was actually a really good key piece in the transition, especially.
mm,
Not only that, but he looked really confident in the attacking third. Really good footwork. Like he was putting guys on skates, and he was dishing it out appropriately. Dude, great job.
mm.
I would like to see more of Haji.
Another person that I'm actually quite proud of from that last game is Benjamin Galindo. The guy didn't get beat consistently. We only allowed one goal in, and a lot of that is because he was there doing his job. Um, I guess for me, my question mark going into the Salt Lake game is what does our back four look like, and more specifically, what is our interior too? Because Benjamin Glendo either shows up when he does get put into the lineup or he looks absolutely terrible. I've liked how Janjigian's played recently. I thought Clementa played well this past game. Still no more Zach Carroll sightings. I guess he's kind of missing in action. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. I keep forgetting to transition between screens. I love it. But
Is it still sitting on me? Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
it was the whole time. But
I
John, side note, John's job is harder than it looks, folks.
Yeah,
Um,
no kidding.
but you know, continuing on, I guess my question is who starts in the back four? We know it's probably going to be Richards. We know it's probably going to be Lacroix. But who's the center to? Because I've seen a lot of movement between center midfielder or center defenders there. Even in this last game, Janjigian got subbed off at halftime for Clementa, which is not a move that we know uh, that Ian Russell likes to make is subbing his defenders out. So
No, not common.
yeah, so we'll have to see what that back line is.
Yeah, that's a good point. I imagine just because of we've been seeing it a lot lately, we might end up seeing Jiggy and Galindo. Like you were saying, they did pair up really well in this last match. Jiggy's been looking better and better. I'm glad that he's getting time. Um, Still wondering what's up with Zach Carroll, what's up with El Capitan over there, but I still think that they're getting the job done, so I really can't complain.
Yeah,
It
good old
doesn't matter how you get there, just get the job done.
yeah, 3 win streaks are important.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, all right, man. Anything else you wanna say about this upcoming match?
I mean, it's the second to last home match of the year. Unfortunately,
Oh
it's coming in real quick.
man, yeah. Then it's kind of a bummer that that has to happen like that too, because then it's two away matches before we have to wait until the playoffs. It's a little scary. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Especially having to go on the road to finish it out. I'd rather finish it strong at home, but the way they've been looking on the road, they can make it happen.
Yeah, one can only hope.
But all right, man. So that's kind of the preview for Real Salt Lake, the Real Monarchs SLC. So let's do some predictions. Brad, how do you think this one is going?
Oh man, you know, I think that Reno's gonna concede a goal, but I think it's gonna look very similar to this past week, where Reno's gonna win 3-1 on the road. I just think our defense, the last game we had a clean sheet was Tacoma, and the clean sheet before that was July 27th. So it's been a while since we've had a clean sheet against a team fighting for playoff position. And that July 27th clean sheet was against Colorado Switchbacks. So even
Yep.
before that, I guess the last team we clean sheeted that is realistically looking at playoffs right now is the Sacramento Republic FC, and that's just it's we're gonna concede a goal. So I'm saying 3-1. I'm saying it's gonna be similar. I'm saying that we have some weird goal scorers this week. Obviously, Herzog scores all three because he got completely and totally not given his hat trick this week. He's
I
gonna
was like,
want it.
watch it, watch it.
Yeah, he's gonna be hungry for that hat trick this week. Uh, yeah, 3-1 Herzog all three this week, I believe.
Dang. Okay. 3-1 and a hat trick for Corey. All right. I mean, that is not the craziest prediction ever. So I think I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory. I agree with you. I think that they're going to concede. It just seems to be pretty consistent. Um, the goal scorers are going to be Corey Herzog and let's go with Lindo. I want to go with Lindo because I forgot to mention when we were talking about our talking about the New Mexico match that he's been working really hard. Actually, he had an excellent match
Hmm.
on that night. Not only did he deflect that ball from Brent Richards to give Corey that setup, he also was instrumental in it. Oh, he whipped in the ball for Brent Richards' assist and for Brent Richards' goal. He got the assist on that one, and he also gave Corey an assist. Like I think he's been working really hard, and I think he deserves a goal. So that's why I want to put him on there. Um, so it's going to be 2-1, Corey Lindo. That's
Yeah,
my prediction. We didn't get anything from John. Don't know what's going on there. I'm sure he's probably trying to get some rest before he goes to work. But that's it on the predictions. And I don't know if anybody won last week. Do you know?
I don't know either. I someone will tweet at us
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Hey, I won. Here it is. Show us some reference."
And
And
then we'll have to go back into the film and check it
I
out and
mean,
confirm
nobody
it. Yeah.
wrote it down, so whose fault is that? It's kind of
Yeah.
ours.
I'm gonna go with John's. He's not here to defend himself, so it's John.
Yeah, and he didn't win this past week. That's for sure.
Why? What did he say?
I have no idea, but he didn't win. It doesn't matter. He's not
He
here to
didn't win.
defend
Yeah,
himself.
exactly.
He's not here to defend
Call it
himself.
now.
What a loser. Oh man.
Oh man, jinx. Okay, I mean, so I feel like that's kind of it on the Reno side of things, unless there's any news about Reno specifically that you want to talk about.
I mean, I want to real quickly focus on that Linda Benfica comment you made. Yeah, not just was he
Hmm.
active super much in New Mexico. He was all over the place, but he almost had a goal on him. Almost had another goal, kicked it right into the goalie. But prior to that, that Austin Bold match is most of those shots that just were unlucky that were saved were Lindo Benfica. He's due for a goal. He's in that drought that Corey was in at the beginning of the season. He's very much a strong attacker right now. I think he's going to get it sooner rather than later. It
Yep.
just becomes a when does it go in? Because once when it goes in, all of a sudden he'll have like 4 or 5 more goals.
Yeah, he has to hit that streak first. He could have done it against New Mexico, but New Mexico keeper Cody Mizell in that first half he had a couple quality saves,
Hmm.
and I believe one or two of them were against Lindo. I know one for sure when Lindo got a ball when he was just a hair onside and he was wide open, took a shot and Mizell just got tiny bit of his palm on it and deflected it and should have been a goal, but still got the dub, and I feel like that goal is coming for Lindo. Give me some points, man. Come on. I need points. It's been too long.
No, man.
Well, I also need a home playoff match.
Yeah, we take what we get, and we want the playoff match more than John to stop bragging about it.
Yeah, no kidding. But speaking of playoffs,
Oh, you just stole
after
my.
that win against. I got the segue on you. Speaking of playoffs, with that win against New Mexico, Reno has officially stamped their ticket to the 2019 playoffs. Woo! God, it's a big relief to actually finally seal it in there because the West is so crazy. but we're in there not necessarily on points, but on matches won. I believe San Antonio could match us on points, but we would still have more matches won no matter what if they won out the entire way. Um, so we're sitting pretty, and all that's left to check off on the list is that home match. And I know there's several scenarios to get there, but all I care about is wins. That's the only thing that's going to make it happen. Win, 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 and we will get there.
Yeah. Uh, y- you know, I guess the biggest change in the playoffs for me this week was watching Fresno. I think it's gonna be tough for us to get that
Mm,
second place bye. Fresno had a quality statement win with a lot of penalties given to both teams. I think it
that was
was
weird.
what was it, two penalties each team? I think it was
Uh,
something weird.
two to Phoenix and
Mm,
one to Fresno.
yeah. And Phoenix for once, actually, I don't disagree with those penalty calls. They were both hands that were like sticking up like this. You know, like
Hmm.
like clear penalty kicks. The ref called it perfectly each time. And same for Fresno. I'm not going to contest that penalty kick. But for once, the guy who I kept talking about is scoring so much from the penalty spot lines up and twice does not put in a penalty kick. Phoenix fans are asking, what could have been different there, um,
He
because
hit the post for God's sake. Like I thought that one was going in for sure.
yeah, I know Solomon Asante, who is money, absolute money from the penalty line, just
Hmm.
goose eggs the night on that. Uh, but frantic game. That game was so good to watch. It lived up to the hype that USL was protesting it to be, or protesting, advertising it to be. Yeah,
Professing, I
yeah,
believe.
professing. Advertising, that's a
Yeah.
better word, anyways. This game is better than advertised. It was the number one and number two team in the West, and yeah, just delivered on all axles there. But with a win like that, I think it might be a little hard to catch up to Fresno in the standings. I think they're sitting at 3 points above us right now.
Yes, they are 3 points ahead with a game in hand.
Hmm.
So,
So,
they could start dropping matches. That's entirely possible, but I don't see it happening. But honestly, I don't care. I mean, like, it would be nice to be in second, but as long as we're in the top four, that's all I care about. And between us and fourth place, Orange County, which Orange County, what the hell? They came out of nowhere. They were complete garbage for most of the season, and then now they're on a 6 match winning streak, and now they're up in fourth with a match in hand on us. Like that's absolutely nuts. But they are 8 points behind. We have a nice cushion. Uh, we're 9 points ahead of fifth place Sacramento. So we are three entire matches outside of not being able to host. Well, with our matches won, maybe even four entire matches outside of not being able to
mhm.
host. So one or two more wins in a row, and I think that seals the deal. But I don't want them to take their foot off the pedal. They need to go, 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 and finish the season strong.
Yeah, 100% agree. Just yeah, looking at Orange County out of nowhere, and they've beaten some good teams too recently, if I remember. I think one of those games was against Fresno. No, El Paso, Tulsa,
They beat New Mexico,
Portland, New Mexico at the Lab, Salt Lake
Monarchs.
City,
Yep.
Las Vegas, and then they lost to Tacoma in August.
Yeah, I feel like that's around the time they realized that they needed to turn things around. When you're losing to Tulsa, then you know something's wrong.
Not the last time that they made me shave my head, and it
Yeah,
was
right.
Tacoma.
But speaking of bad teams, there have been some teams eliminated already, and the snapping is happening, and everyone's getting dusted away here. The first I know, right? The first casualties on Friday were in the East, Hartford Athletic, and in the West, Tacoma Defiance. I mean, you really can't argue that one. Those are easily the worst teams
Hmm.
in each conference. And then I believe it was Saturday. It was, or maybe not Saturday. Maybe even
Sunday.
one more match. Was it Sunday?
I think it
Okay.
was Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday we saw the elimination of Colorado Springs Switchbacks and Charlotte Independence. Both of them pretty expected. And there are several teams here on the bubble that are really threatening to be eliminated. Swope Park Rangers, Atlanta United 2, Loudoun United, Tulsa, RGV, Memphis, Bethlehem. The only team that is really hanging on by an absolute thread is Vegas. There's some miracle situations in which that they can get in, but they are looking better than every other team that I listed before here. Oklahoma City is a bit on the bubble, but they are looking to break through with a couple of favorable results throughout the league. But aside from that, it's kind of a battle. It's kind of a battle for like fifth through 10th on both sides, in both the East and the West. So things are looking interesting. Not too many teams have clinched. Obviously, Phoenix, they've clinched not only playoffs, but first place in the West. No one's catching them. Um, our Reno 1868 clinched second, and then Fresno shortly afterwards by beating Phoenix. So, that's your Western table right now. That's it. And then over in the East, we got Red Bulls 2, Indy 11, Tampa Bay Rowdies, and Nashville that have rounded out the top four so far. Still a bit of a mess, not quite as big of a mess as the West, but this should be an interesting month leading up into playoffs.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm really hoping, I'm not cheering for anybody in this scenario, but I'm hoping Vegas does start winning out, so it'll make that game in October mean a lot more for us when we win, and you can create some spectacular GIF on the matter, and everything will be
Oh,
right
there
in
will
the
be,
world.
yeah.
Oh, I have no doubt, you're totally gonna like milk it before and after the game, but I just want to see like something spectacular happen where uh, what's I'm messing up with Vegas goes and somehow manages to win the next couple of games. Who's on their schedule? Uh,
They have kind of an easy schedule, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Switchbacks, San Antonio, us. So those are two winnable games for them.
Mm-hmm.
Switchbacks on the road, San Antonio at home, and us at home before finishing off the season at New Mexico. For them, does a draw take them out of the playoffs?
Does a draw take them out of the playoffs? That's a good question. Okay, so they have four matches left. The most they can get is 12 points extra. That puts them at 47. Not quite yet. I think every other team above them would have to win for that to be
Mm-hmm.
an elimination. But they are very close, and I'm kind of with you on that. I'd be okay with seeing them win the next couple games because it gives them hope, and hope makes you nervous. Like if we go into the final meeting of the Silver State Cup and they have nothing to lose, like they know they're out of the playoffs and they're just going to go into this match just going absolute bat blank crazy, then like, it is entirely possible. That happened last year. Their last match of the season when they beat Phoenix in Vegas, what is it, 5-2 or something stupid like that?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that is entirely possible if they have no hope left. And then, if they're already been eliminated, Winalda might trot them out against us and be like, do some damage, and just leave it at that.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, looking forward to this game. Coming up later down the road, but that's later down the road. But playoffs, it feels
It's
so
pretty
nice.
close, man.
Yeah, playoffs just feel so nice to be back, though. I'm so happy that we are moving on. For the third year, 3 out of 3. No complaints on my end on that. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see us move a little deeper. And I think that's entirely possible looking at the bottom half of the playoff list right now. Like, if playoffs were to start now, I would be pretty good. I feel pretty good about our chances of moving on at least a couple rounds. But I mean, man, let's get that cup. Let's get as far as we can. No, no, I want hardware and I want it this year. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. I want to see it happen. Moving on, I guess. Something we haven't covered yet. Where are you in the world of Nevada, Matt?
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that yet. So this is leading up into Mount Rose. This is Mount Rose Highway, Nevada Route 431, I believe. Yeah, I mean, if I keep updating my logbooks correctly, I should know that. But this was a beautiful shot that I was able to get just after that snowstorm. That I had my last image about, like referencing it the last episode, and it's just a nice little drive up Mount Rose Highway through the forest with the mountain poking up in the distance, and some clouds covering the area, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful shot of the high desert, and this is like the real Nevada country. Like I absolutely love that drive.
Oh yeah, beautiful up there. Too bad the snow's already quickly gone away, unfortunately. Most of it.
It did.
It
Oh, it's
was
coming back
nice.
though. Don't worry.
Oh, I have no doubts about that. Oh man.
But how crazy would it be? I would actually really like it if we host a playoff match and it's a snowball. That would be absolutely nuts. Maybe not necessarily snowing the night before, so everything's covered in snow. But if it's snowing during the match, dude, that'd be so much fun. I love that kind of atmosphere.
I do too, but I know our record in snow games are absolutely abysmal, Actually, we did win one this year against Colorado
Yeah.
in the snow. I know you were about to say that
Mm-hmm.
one. But
Uh-huh.
last year we lost one to, I believe it was also Colorado in the snow. But we got absolutely trounced in that game, 4-0.
That was Swope.
Was that Swope
It
last
was
year?
it, it
No, it
was
was
the
Colorado.
Swopies.
It
Was
was
it?
it was Colorado.
Okay.
I remember
Okay,
because
my
I
bad.
remember leaving complaining on Facebook because this was when I was like brand new to the brigade. I remember complaining on Facebook, man, Colorado was really trying for their fourth goal more than we were trying for our first.
Oh yeah, I remember that comment. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean it's not entirely favorable, but those are always the beginning of the season.
Hmm.
So is that snow correlated, or is that us sucking at the beginning of the season correlated? It's really hard to tell. At least this year we only tied when it was snowing.
Wait, did we know well we won when it was snowing in Colorado?
Did we have?
Yeah,
All right, I don't know. I'm going crazy.
clean sheet.
Um, yeah, that's right. I
Oh
don't know,
man.
man. I'm going crazy.
Uh,
We're like 45 minutes in when we didn't expect to host, so this is all on the fly. Give me a break. Um, I don't know. Is there anything else? Is there anything else interesting going on in the league right now that we need to bring up?
mm, I don't really have anything. I thought I did, but playoffs check. Uh,
Hmm.
What else is there? The Phoenix game with Fresno, check. Um, Shenanigans on Twitter. No, not really.
Jack.
Not really this
No,
week.
I mean, yeah, there was some fun back and forth, at least with Harry just before this podcast. He was
Yeah.
nice enough to give us a shout out on Twitter, so that was pretty cool.
Thanks, Harry. Oh man,
Thanks.
is it already time for us to go into something not soccer related on a soccer related podcast then?
Is it? Yeah, no, I'm kind of scrolling through all the news just to making sure we're all covered. But yeah, I think that's kind of about it, man.
All right. Well,
We got all the shenanigans and the hoopla all covered.
man, what a
I mean,
nice.
unless the last episode, did we talk about San Diego being confirmed coming in next year?
No, we did not.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, Landy Cakes has announced that Footy McFootface is going to be starting USL Championship play in 2020. So I mean, San Diego is kind of far, but if it coincides with an OC or an LA match, that's a great road trip right there. I'm
Oh yeah.
excited for that. Or hell, even Vegas. I mean, it opens up the West a little bit. We're seeing more independent teams. I was just thinking the other day that the actual West Coast has got way too many two teams because every time we play a two team, there's no banter online. And I notice that happens a lot every time we play teams that are close to us that we might have people traveling to, and there's nobody there. So it'll be nice to see an actual team that's going to have actual fans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one thing that I'm looking forward to is having another USL team that hopefully, San Diego is a city that deserves a soccer team. It's kind of a
Oh
shame
yeah,
that it's only a USL team because no doubt in my mind, if you were to give San Diego a soccer team and not Sacramento or Phoenix, that you'd still pack out a stadium down there. People love soccer down there in San Diego, and without a doubt in my mind, it would get filled up instantly. Other than that, like I'm just looking the Copa Cannabis Bowl, I guess you can call it, as Reno is sitting pretty with 30 points compared to Orange County with 23. So pretty much pretty much looking good for us up there, I guess. It's
yeah. I mean,
a little.
I feel like if we win it, we need to celebrate some weird way. But I don't know. It's a fun little competition that it might pick up steam. I mean, it's kind of coasting along right now, but I think it's fun. Oh, hi Harry. He just jumped into the chat. He
Oh,
said he was late working a long day.
oh. What's your prediction for the Reno game this weekend? Since we didn't catch you earlier.
Reno, Salt Lake City. And we'll wait. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for a response, um, I don't know, man. Is there anything else going on in the league?
Not that I can think of.
Uh,
Not that I can think
yep,
of. I
yep,
think
yep, yep, yep.
right now, I'm happy with where we are as a team. A couple really strong wins out there, and yeah, no complaints on my end. Like 3 wins in a row, against some quality opponents too. I guess Tacoma isn't quality, but on the road against Austin and on the road against New Mexico are two hard places to go on the road and win against
Mm-hmm.
two quality good teams. So yeah, it's looking good for Reno. I don't know. I agree with Harry. It's been a very long day for me too.
I know it's rough, man.
All right.
It's rough out there,
Random thoughts. We'll just
but
put a nice little bow. Or,
sounds good to me.
I mean, you had something else to say. If you had something else to say.
No, man, I got nothing else to say. What's your random thought?
Well, I guess my random thought, I've already said it once earlier in the episode as I completely continue to correct fixing my clicky skills, but John has it hard. When you're here, this isn't something we think about. We don't think about clicking and changing over to different people. So John, when you're editing this episode, make sure to give yourself a little pat on the back for like being awesome because hosting is difficult. We sit here and just kind of goof off, look at different screens, enjoy ourselves, and you like have to be focused like hard onto this, in order for yourself. I've found myself putting the screen either keeping it on my face for like super long or keeping it on Matt's face super long. So, I guess the quality in that is you got a tough job and we make it only slightly less hard for you.
Do we? Do we
Sometimes.
though,
I
or
mean,
do we
we have
make it
good
harder?
banter. He doesn't have to talk as much.
That's fair. You can take a little bit of a break. Eat something a little bit after a long day. Yeah,
Mm, hmm
we try. We try. I mean, we don't do notes anymore, so we can't help that way. But I feel like we provide enough of a content and our beautiful personalities. Who can't love that? So that's a big plus for John too.
All right, what you got for me?
My random thought. Well, I know in previous random thoughts I had talked about a little, about gaming and how excited I was for the remake of Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch, a game I grew up playing and absolutely love. But I haven't gotten it yet. It's been out since the 20th, and I haven't gotten it yet because we're still being like stupid college student sheep before we're heading out to Disneyland, and it makes me sad. But I know it's going to be there waiting for me as soon as we get back from Anaheim. So I don't. I hate having to wait, but I'm a big boy, and I think I can do it. And the fact that we got Disneyland and then a fun trip to invade Vegas, dude, I'm gonna have a blast. So I really don't care. Um, we're still working up to Vegas. We got a two pole completely done for them, and then we have a big two pole ready for them. We're not sure how many how we're gonna work this out because we're only allowed five flags and one drum. They're only allowed us one drum into the stadium,
I
so
mean,
I guess they're afraid of being outshined. I don't know.
they're not the first team in the world to only allow one drum. I know that when we went down to Orange County and Los Dos, I think they only allowed one drum, and I don't even think Los Dos was even allowing a drum up until like match day.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I know.
Well, I
Five
mean, it is.
flags is a little silly, not allowing us to take like a banner when their supporters. Did they bring up a banner? Yeah, I think they did when a couple of them came up earlier in the year.
It was like a tiny tifo. It was really more of a two pole. I'm not that big, but yeah, honestly they can bring what they want. I don't care. I'm not worried about them because they're not traveling. It doesn't matter. And no matter how many we bring, I feel like we're still going to be able to outshine them. If you've watched a lights match recently, it seems like the two supporter groups, the Electric Company and the Losers y Fuerza or Lose y Fuerza, I'm sorry. They seem to be very separated and doing their own chants separate from each other, and it sounds like a garbled mess. So I feel like we're going to come in there with our little band of traveling supporters, and we're going to show them what's up, and we're also going to show them how true fans support, and really bust out some great two poles, and I guess what you might call a mini tifo. And I can't wait. I'm stoked. It's so close.
Oh man, it's playoff season. The NFL's in full swing. My fantasy team can't seem to win a game. I haven't even checked on Monday night's matchup yet. That's strange for me. I've not been paying so much attention to the NFL because we got the USL, and I was at work today reflecting, and I'm like, man, I haven't paid much attention to soccer outside of this. USL is kind of just like the biggest little league in the world for me, which
It
is
sucks
only
you
fair.
in.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 38 teams. It's kind of hard not to get sucked in. Each one of them with, a lot of actually surprisingly good talent. The league
Mhm.
is secretly good. Solomon Asante league goal scoring, even though it's all penalty kicks for the most part for me. But he's showing up a lot. Adam John's a good goalie down there. Um, Man, Dane Kelly's in the East now. A lot of players in the East that are looking really good. The movement. Sacramento climbed up in the table a little bit after they signed what's his name all the way back like a month or two ago from Indy 11.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I can't remember. I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've made some changes because they were looking pretty pathetic.
hmm Oh man,
But
why
I
is it not
mean,
eluding me?
I feel like we're still sitting pretty, and I mean, screw the rest of the West, man. I feel like we're doing good.
Enevoldsen, Thomas Enevoldsen, that's the name.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, no, league's looking good. Corey's just as happy as we are on your screen, which I haven't changed in a while.
Oh yeah, we haven't really talked about that. John always has his photo of the week, or at least he started doing that, and I think it's a pretty cool feature because he's straight up a media guy. He takes amazing photographs every single match. For those of you not watching and are just listening to the audio, it's Corey clearly celebrating a goal with Duke Lacroix and Lindo coming in to celebrate with them, and Brett Richards in the background giving him the approving nod. Just a well done. Yeah, it's a great photo. Well done, John.
Yeah, I think my favorite part about this is the face Jeff Adai is making in the background. I just looked up his name in the roster. I'm pretty sure that's number 6, not a number 60 something. But the face he makes, if you can zoom in a little, I don't know how difficult that is for you to do right now, just to like make it bigger. But he's like standing there like covering his belly area, but the face he has is just his tongue's like sticking out all
Oh yeah,
strangely.
like
It's like
like huh? Yeah,
it's just he
that's
looks
good.
so
Good.
lost out there, lost in the celebration around him. Oh man.
Yeah, good stuff. There's always great content from John. Check out his accounts on his Instagram and his Twitter. He's always putting up material and he does some good stuff, man. And we miss you. We miss you, Senpai. Come back.
Please, because I'm so bad at this hosting clicky thing.
You know what? I haven't really been watching the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and say you've been doing a good job. I'm
Thanks.
gonna give you kudos, even though I'm not sure if they're earned, but kudos nonetheless, my friend.
All right, thanks. How about we start taking it out?
Yeah, we can take it out. Guys, as always, follow 1868 Weekly on Twitter at 1868 Weekly. Um, I'm sure John wants me to drop his a little bit, his accounts. Look up real John Macaluso or John Macaluso. If you see a dashingly handsome gentleman with side swept hair, that's the guy that you're going to be looking for. Brad, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Pal in the Sky. I've been using it a lot more since the beginning of the season. It's actually quite surprising. Uh, Tweet of the week for me was everybody in New Mexico hates Corey Herzog right now. Got a new follower because of that tweet.
Yay!
But but follow me there, Pal in the Sky on Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube if you are listening on the SoundCloud. Follow us on YouTube, 1868 Weekly. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I don't think we have an Instagram, but follow us on Twitter at 1868 Weekly also. And what about you, Matt?
All right, yeah, you can follow. Oh, but first, I want to say that it's cool seeing you more on Twitter. Yeah, I think it actually kind of opens up the conversation a lot more. It's really nice to see more Reno fans on the social medias. I know we don't have the biggest online presence, and I'd like to change that. Smallest market, it's going to happen, but let's get our names out there. Let's really champion our team. All right, you can help that out by following me on Twitter. Raff out loud underscores between each word. I'm posting all kinds of trash talking gifs. I'm engaging actually more in conversation on there, which is different. But you can also find me a lot more on Reddit on r/USL Pro, same name, Raff out loud with underscores between each word. I'm engaging in conversation a lot there. It's an amazing community with some super cool people that are really knowledgeable and funny and know how to trash talk without taking it too far, which is really nice, which is really rare to see an entire community be able to do that online. So, guys, find us, find 1868 Weekly, find John online, and interact, and let's really champion this team. And I think that's about it, Brad. Let's take it away.
All right. So as always, thank you guys for listening, for everything that you do to support us. Uh, in Ian we trust, and vamos
Vamos
azules! All
Azules!
right, guys. Thanks for listening as always.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.